that you can tell from the background, but I'm a really big fan of festive Lego sets and also just having a Lego collection and Lego display that looks incredibly aesthetically pleasing, so much so that I sort of reinvented the entire layout of my room and just how I displayed all of my Lego sets a couple of months ago. So when it came to trying to set up a winter village this Christmas, I really wanted to go all out with the design. Now at the present moment, I still live at home, and one comment I often hear from my parents is that Lego is invading the household. Which, look, fair, I get it, because it has creeped into other areas. However, in my defense, this Star Wars shelf looks really, really good. Same with the Hogwarts Express. I just think it completely ties in really nicely. Everything is intentional, and that's what I love to see. So with my winter village, I wanted everything to really seamlessly blend in, I guess, to existing Christmas decorations and really just go all out. And if there is one thing that screams Christmas to me, it is Christmas lights. I love them. I get so excited when I drive along the street and I see Christmas lights outside. You see the house as well lit up at nighttime, and it just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. And that is exactly why as well I set up like a mini tree in my bedroom, just because I love seeing it lit up at night. So if there was one way I was going to convince my mum to letting me have an entire winter village setup display in the dining room on the sideboard, it was gonna be if I lit it all up. Now last year I ended up buying a Light My Bricks light kit for Santa's visit, and it looked fantastic. I loved it, my mum loved it. The only issue was it sort of made all of the other sets look a little bit out of place because it was the only one that was properly lit up and I guess matched the rest of the Christmas decorations. So this year for my winter village, I really wanted to have every single set lit up and matching the Christmas display.
Hey Holly, I heard you were making your own winter village scene, and every winter village needs lights, so I think we can help you out. We've got some light kits here for you. Let's just wrap them up. So we'll just bring these together and pack them all up for you here. Well Holly, here's your Christmas prezzies all packed up. Here you go.
As you can see, even in broad daylight, these lights actually add a lot of depth to your Lego display, and that is something that I feel like, especially on Christmas Day, I really want to have. So my plan is basically to take majority, not all, of my Lego Winter Village sets and create a setup that matches really nicely and seamlessly with regular standard Christmas decorations that either my mum has got or bought this year. So in order to do that, firstly, I did have to make some sacrifices in the Winter Village set department. The first set to get cut was the Elf Clubhouse, mostly just because it felt a little bit out of place with the other sets that I wanted to have on this display, so I just shoved it next to the Hogwarts Express. The other set that got cut was the gingerbread house, because in 2020 I made the stupid decision of taking it apart and thinking to myself, hey, the following year I can just rebuild it along with the new Winter Village set. And then I never brought it back out again. I put it in a Ziploc bag. I actually lost it temporarily until I found it 3 days ago. So sorry, Tiago, that set is cut as well, even though it's one of my favorites. So the sets I wanted to include in this layout, firstly, are the brand new Home Alone house that my mum bought. She loves this set. She's been obsessed with it. She ended up buying it and she was like, you know what? I'm gonna build it. I didn't think she would, but my mum did build it. So please, round of applause for her. Well done, mum, for your amazing building efforts. She's very proud of that one. Secondly, was gonna be Santa's visit. I already had the light kit in it. It just seemed like the perfect set in order to include in this. Another set that I really like was Santa's sleigh. I think that's one of the best sort of non-Winter Village festive sets that Lego has ever done. There was no way I wasn't gonna put this set in it. I even included my little custom alien Santa that I made, which you can buy on HollyOnFilm.com. It's not gonna arrive before Christmas, but I thought I'd shout that out anyway. And then the last set I really wanted to incorporate, of course, was the brand new Winter Village set, which was the Holiday Main Street. Now, all of these, I guess, give sort of a realistic Christmas sort of layout. We have a little town, we've got a house, we have another house, and then of course we have Santa's sleigh. So all of these sort of felt like they were in theme, and I personally think they were gonna look all great together. Now to set this up, in my head, I'm thinking Home Alone in the middle. It's the biggest one. It's not quite to scale with the other ones as well, so I feel like putting it in the middle is really gonna make it stand out and sort of blend in a little bit better, and then have one regular Winter Village set on either side, and then Santa's sleigh sitting on top of the Home Alone house. Now, one thing my mum usually does is get this giant wreath garland that she puts out on the sideboard, so really that is going to be the background for the Winter Village. Another thing we have quite a few of are these tiny little synthetic Christmas trees that I feel like work really nicely as a background. And if I place it in between the sets, it sort of fills up that gap a little bit and makes it seem a little bit more cohesive than I feel like it would be otherwise. The first thing was to get everything built. Majority of the sets that I already had built, I just put in a storage container, so I sort of had to just fix them up a little bit. And then my mum got cracking on Home Alone. She did it over the course of several weeks. And once all of those were built up, I started installing all of the light kits, starting off with Santa's sleigh, just because it was the smallest, so I felt more accomplished once I got it done, because I was like at least one down, one to go, sort of building myself up to Home Alone, which is by far the biggest and most intimidating of all of these light kits. Now, one thing I noticed is that Light My Bricks actually made their own studs now, and they've got this little like gap in the middle, so for studs that are getting added into the set, it's so much easier to thread the wires through, which I thought was amazing, and has always been something that I guess like kind of annoyed me about the light kits, is that not everything would sit flush, so I'm already like over the moon at that improvement here. Now, as I was piecing all of these together, I quickly realized that I wanted to have all of these be plugged in and sort of turn on all at once, which wasn't exactly going to happen because all of the USB plugs like did not reach the power board on the side of the sideboard. So I ran into my dad's office and I stole one of his USB hubs that had more than enough ports for it, but then as well, the cables wouldn't reach. So then I ran and bought some USB extenders, each of which was like 1.5 meters, which was more than enough for what I needed to. And also I thought I could sort of like hide them and tuck them underneath the little reef thing on the sideboard. That way you wouldn't see many of the cables, but they would still all plug in at the same time. Now, usually with my light kits and stuff, I would just power it off my portable charger. However, since it's Christmas, I really wanted to plug it into the wall. And then I had the bright idea of buying like a Wi-Fi smart like plug, which ended up actually being a power board, which meant we could plug in all of the lights in that corner of the room onto this power board and set it on a timer so that at exactly 7 p.m, all of the lights will switch on at once, and then they will all turn off at 10 p.m. I can also just control it from my phone, turn it on easily on Christmas Day. It was fantastic. Now, one big tip when like making any Lego display is do not overcrowd things. One thing that I really feel like benefits this Winter Village layout is just not having that much stuff. I have a lot of Lego and it's often hard to display it all sometimes, or even just store it in general. But one thing that I think just makes my room and my spaces and my displays look so much better is not having things overcrowded. So if you do want to attempt a Winter Village display, either do it across like several areas or several shelves, or just cut down some of the sets and rotate them out each year, just so that everything sort of sits a little bit nicer and doesn't look so cluttered. But here is the Winter Village layout all lit up at night, alongside, I guess, like all of our other Christmas decorations all lit up. Personally, I really, really love it. I know especially like even just the Home Alone house on its own, my mum absolutely loved seeing lit up. I feel like she was very proud of just like seeing the set built that she had done. I was very proud of seeing the light kit that I installed all built up. I might have accidentally as well broken a couple of the lights in the installation process, but luckily you can't tell. Personally, at least for me, lighting the Christmas sets up, especially with light kits, just makes everything seem a little bit more festive. I personally am one of those people that wouldn't light up every single set I own. I'm like kind of specific, I think, when it comes to lighting my things up. I either want it to like make sense with like realism, which is why I love the Diagon Alley one so much, but with the Winter Village sets, like Christmas, there's just a ton of lights everywhere that I think it ties in perfectly. With the Winter Village sets, I really want to go all out. It is an investment into your Lego sets, but specifically with the Winter Village ones, I think it pays off, especially since it's a Christmas decoration that you can bring out every year. And once it's installed, I am not taking it back out of it. I will be storing the sets completely all built in a storage container so I can just pull it out easily, ready for next year. So if you haven't already, I will leave Light My Bricks' website as well as all of their socials linked in the description down below. They make the best light kits that I have ever tried out. I think they are fantastic. And thank you guys so much for sending them to me. I know my mum is very, very happy with the Home Alone ones especially. And I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. I would love to see photos of your Winter Village layouts as well. So please tag me on Instagram if you've got a setup and layout. I just love festive Lego, so much so that I'm trying to hunt down a holiday X-Wing. That is really a bad decision, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. I hope you have a happy holidays, and until next time guys, I'll see you later.